Alright, well, this is another attempt at trying to get the Platinum Trophy. There's the trophy for the Platinum. You have to specifically grab onto the harpy that summons from the beacon. Didn't know that. Alright, cool. Done done. Nice. Everyone else, everyone can die now. Everyone can die now. Leave me and Targus alone. Okay, moving on. So, there we go. That's another Platinum Trophy down. I actually just got the one for Rise of the Ronin the other day. And now I have the True Arisen. Game was great. Had a very strong start, had a very strong medium. I loved the quests. I love the quest design. Little upset that some of the quests you can get locked out of, but that's okay because that kind of pushes you to play through it again. So I have played through it a second time. Um, did all the different trophies. Spoiler alert, by the way, this is going to tell you some of the trophies. A lot of it was really cool. I liked the jobs. Trickster was kind of meh, but at least it was interesting. And just, I don't know. I don't know how else to explain it besides a lot of it was looking up guides for finding out how to do exactly the right thing in exactly the right way for the trophy. But yeah, all in all, good adventure. Hold up. Took me about 100 hours, which Rise of the Ronin, I mean, I have the platinum on that one. It took me 86 hours. Or it took me, I think, 71 hours, actually, was when I got the trophy. And then I just kept playing. But yeah, a lot of fun. This is the one that'll get uploaded. I tried a couple of times with the beacon, and I kept grabbing harpies, but I didn't grab the right harpy. So, like, that's why it was weird when I put the beacon down here. There was a harpy, as you saw at the beginning of the video, that I jumped onto, and then grabbed it, but I didn't get the trophy. And then when I panned the camera back, I saw that a harpy was there at the beacon, and I'm like, oh, there's a harpy that literally spawns because of that beacon. That's probably the one I have to grab. So yeah, there we go. We got the platinum. I now have no need to play this game because once you get the platinum, there's really no replay value because I already have all the jobs. I already have all the quests I wanted done. The ending is very lackluster in my opinion. A very weak end because like and this is where I'm going to complain. So you can click out if you don't like it. But in Dragon's Dogma 1, you had the Everfall, there's the Hydra fight, there's the Beholder fight, there's a whole mess of really cool stuff in Everfall. And not to mention, you could still travel the entirety of the open world, and there's just dragons and griffins and manticores and chimeras and just high level enemies all over the place. So it's just more dangerous, but it's still fun to play around with, fun to explore. Also, I'm on New Game Plus 3. I did change my companion mostly because I bought the dyes to be able to change the way we look. So we're both pink. Or purple in my case. One moment, I can. I'm purple. I know. Me? Purple? Who would have guessed? But anyway, like, once I hit the fact that this the dragon encounter, same as Dragon's Dogma 1, I'm okay with that. I have your loved one, that whole encounter fine. You gotta fight the dragon. The dragon fight in the first one was an epic battle. The dragon fight in the second one is a monologue, followed by you fighting him in an arena. In the first one, there was a tower, there was a bridge, he's shooting at you. You have to dodge and run and jump, and it's a whole like climactic encounter. And in the second one, it's literally just he monologues with you about how futile your efforts are, like a goddamn James Bond villain. And you just sit on his back and wait for the fight, or you use the Godsbane blade and soar the world into the unmoored world. The problem with that being, when you're in the unmoored world, you have to do four separate quests, which I'm not in the unmoored world anymore, for a reason I'll get to in a second. But you have to do four separate quests. There's a quest line for Vernworth Castle, where you have to help Sven take control of the city and um, convince everyone to excavate or evacuate. Sorry, evacuate to the village here, which y'all saw if you've been following my playthrough. You have to go to Bekbatal. You have to help Faces take out the dragon statue thing, and then there's another one where you help. What's her name? The soldier, the queen's right hand guard, who helps you find the assassin. You have to help her settle some disputes, and then they'll convince to leave. Like you settle the peace there, they leave. You have to go to the elves. You have to, annoyingly, you have to go to the elves, talk to them. They give you the sapling for the tree. You have to go back to the ruins, plant the sapling, see that it takes, then fairy stone back to the elves, and talk to them again, and they go, "Oh, okay, we can leave then." Fucking what? So their story was weak, in my opinion. And then the other thing I had to do was I had to go here to the excavation site and find. Sorry, I'm hitting R2 or L2. If you go to the excavation site, you find that none of the pawns will leave because they were told not to. And then you find out that the reason why was because the fat guy who was the jailer from the tutorial is told them not to. And then you find his corpse and you find his staff and you give the staff to the guy and he goes, "Cool, with this the pawns will listen to me and I can get them to safety. Thank you." So boom, 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 boom. You do those four things. You help the excavation site, you help Bekbatal, you help the Secret Arbor, and you help Vernworth, and you get that trophy. There's another trophy wherever it is that you defeat the Guardian, the Galagus, or whatever it was called, or Talos, which, by the way, I found out the second time around, again, was not streaming my second playthrough. It walks from, like, I guess the ruins all the way down here across his path. From what I was told, because someone else failed, he travels, like, up here into, like, a pit of lava and then just dies. So, like, if you fail it, he just, I guess, falls into lava, which is weak, in my opinion, but whatever. Um, and then the other thing I noticed was that I had destroyed all of the spikes that were in him before he touched ground. Or before he touched dry ground, I should say. He was in the water the entire time. And Frostseeker Bolt for the Magic Archer, ridiculously overpowered, by the way. Um, the very first Magic Archer skill. Like, just the Frostseeker Bolt. This thing, because here's the kicker on it. Here's the kicker on it. It hits multiple times. The other skill I was using was good. What the hell? How'd I get experience? Whatever. The other skill is good, but Frostseeker Bolt will hit, and then 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 hit. And again, keep in mind. Go away. Keep in mind, I have the augment for increased damage to critical spots. So if you put 5 of those on a dragon's chest, dragons are weak to ice. You put 5 of those into a dragon's chest, they will almost instantly break open the chest. Then they will do critical damage to his heart, and because they're dealing critical damage, they do even more damage. And they will hit repeatedly. It's ridiculously good. This is the last time I'm going to play this game, so I wanted to do that once. And you're out. Anyway, so, yeah, again, it had a very weak ending because in the first one there was all this really cool shit you could do at the end with the Everfall and all the really cool fights, and there was new bosses, and then there was the mechanic of getting the Wake Stones to ascend to figure out what the hell that was about. And in this one, because I wanted to get all the trophies, I had to make sure that I did the people's storylines, so I had to do all of that. Ulrika, who seems to be like a big part of our character's story and has a bit of a romantic angle, and like you can pursue that if you do her quest line and get a whole romantic cutscene, which was a whole nother thing to do, was to try to get her storyline done in that second playthrough to get her romance cutscene. So it's a whole thing to get her to love you. She is in no way part of the end. Like once you hit the end world, she does not matter, which is okay, I guess. Weird, but if that's how you want to play this, I'm very confused. So like I did her full story where she takes over Hard Village. I go to Har Village, and all of the people just walked from Har Village down. I didn't have to convince anyone. There was no quest line for it. I didn't have to talk to nobody. They just started walking. It was weird. Um, there's there's two new enemies in the unmoored village, and you already saw both of them. There's the what is it? The big worm you fight over here at the sacred arbor that you fight in the water up here, and then there's the big dragon that you fight right here in these ruins. And that's it. Those are the only two new enemies in the Dark World. Oh no, sorry, that's not true. There's also the purple phantasms, the purple phantom dudes, the giggly balls of cloud. I don't know what you want to call them. Um, there's the dark purple versions of those. Like I couldn't find any enemies. Like there was just, in my opinion, not enough to the end of the game. Like I said, very strong opening, very strong middle, very weak end. And then the fact that there was no like cool boss fight at the end, at the second fight. Like don't get me wrong, I understand that in Dragon's Dogma 1, once you ascend and you've done the Everfall, you just essentially fight God. You just essentially fight yourself. Like you fight another Arisen, the last one to shift around the cycle, I guess. I don't know how to call that. Why am I here? I had an idea. I wanted to come to this Rift Zone for something. Oh yeah. One moment. There's an entire enemy I have yet to encounter. I have beaten this game twice. Like, what is this enemy that I don't know about? I'm actually googling this right now. Jesus Christ! Don't play an ad or anything stupid, please. Thank you. Monster badges, cool. I want to know them by name, you dumbass. Pawn commands. I will. I want to know what the pawn badges are. All pawn badges. Okay, because like this one for an enemy. So Cyclops Ogre, Grim Ogre. No, I haven't completed that one. Golem Toppler, fine. Griffin Grounder, okay. Sphinx Slayer, which I'm not playing through the game 5 times. Fuck that noise. Chimera Killer, fine. Medusa or Gore Chimera Slayer. Oh, all right. This I haven't even fought a Gore Chimera. Tell you what, chances are a couple of ice fused bolts or ice seeker bolt to the head. It's done for. Medusa, Maimer, Minotaur, Mauler, Gore Minotaur, Mangler, Blessed Dragon Devastator, Garm Gutter, Warg Waster. What the hell's a Garm versus a Warg? I don't even know where to find them. I've been killing stuff, and then you just gotta camp a bunch of times. Thankfully, you only need to earn one badge, and I've already got like 3 of them on her, so it doesn't matter. So, you know what? You can have a tell you what. Whoever does this quest first gets a really. Oh, I was genuinely about to give a port crystal. I'm like they're near my fairy stones if I recall. I can't give a port crystal. I was going to give a port crystal because now that I've beaten the game, I really don't see a reason to play. Like if I'm honest, I don't. I, there's nothing really for me left in this game. There's nothing that's really drawing me in to play it again, except maybe I don't know. You know what? Newt liquor. Newt liquor's really hard to get. You can have a newt liquor. Fuck it, you can have 4 newt liquor. Done. I wanted to view the pawn badges to see if I actually had the other pawn badge, which again is a Gore Chimera. And I have beaten this game twice and have never encountered a Gore Chimera. You know what that tells me? There's not fucking enough of them. So I keep getting distracted. Because I do that a lot. I get distracted. So when you go to the Unmoored world, you have to do the quest lines in the 4 major areas I mentioned. You have to kill the dragon and the worm, and you also have to do the one in Bekbatal, which wasn't even a boss fight, by the way. It was a monster gauntlet of shit you've killed thousands of times. So it doesn't even matter. It's shit you've already killed. It wasn't. You just run and smack stuff. It's so easy. And then after that, you convince everyone to evacuate. You resummon the Talos, the thing, which you know. Oh, the other thing I mentioned, or I forgot to mention, is that as I said, I killed all the spikes on it before it touched ground. Like as it was here, I destroyed the last one. I was able to loot two spikes out of it, and then I followed it this way, and I couldn't see any spikes in it, and I'm like, what the hell do I even do right now? I don't know what else to do. Once you hit like this part right here, it triggers a cutscene with faces, and then he will shut down immediately. So if you kill him too quickly, it still takes forever for him to actually like get to this point and shut down. There's a trophy for activating the Colossus again. The way you do that is I literally walked up to it, and a cutscene triggered. Your pawn jumps into its eye, which is fucking weird. There's nothing that explains this, at least to my knowledge. Maybe maybe it's explained. I don't know. And then it walks over here. Don't know why. The dragon and the worm that I've fought, it fights and insta kills, so makes me feel weak, which is great when you've been playing a game for 100 hours and are level like 90, and the game will be like, hey, you know that boss that you had such trouble with? Cool, we're gonna one shot it. Um, I again don't know what the purpose of that cutscene was. It was cool to watch, but at the same time, it would have been cooler if I was like a part of it, which you're not. You just watch it happen. Also, if you care, the head of the thing falls here, and your pawn gets spit out, and then your pawn just teleports back to you. Like you don't even have to go get your pawn. Like you literally go here, triggers a cutscene. Your pawn takes control of the Colossus. It goes here and fights stuff, and you literally just I stood on like this ridge right here and just watched the fight occur, and I was like, cool. So this is a thing. So my big thing was I wanted to make sure I did all of the trophies required for the unmoored world in one run. And something I found out, you have 3 in-game days, which is I think 3 hours, to do all of this, or the game auto game overs. The game will automatically game over, and it'll automatically game over, and then it asks you, do you want to return to morning of the first day or morning of the second day? If you make it to day 3, the game automatically ends, which is fucking stupid. Also, as you saw, like you have to do certain things in a specific order quickly, so you have to use a shitload of fairy stones, which is fine because they give you a shitload of fairy stones. But like I wanted to explore more of the unmoored world because there's all of this area like here that is just open to explore, and you can't like you don't get enough time. You literally don't have enough time. It's fucking stupid. You do not get enough time to enjoy that. Meanwhile, Dragon's Dogma 1, take all the time you bloody need. Dragon's Dogma 2, you have 3 in-game days. There are 2 new enemies, and tougher enemies spawn all over the place. But there's stuff you've already fought before. And that is it. And like I said, Gore Chimera, I've literally never fought one. 100 hours, I've never encountered one. So, like, put more of them someplace. What the fuck? Give me like a bitter black isle that respawns and give me randomized enemies and randomized chests and loot. The fact that chests in this game don't respawn is why? That was such a cool thing in the first one. And this one, they don't respawn. What? This right here, I've never explored the coral snake hideout. I don't know how to get in. That's a whole separate thing. Maybe there's something cool in here. Tell you what, I don't fucking know. I don't know. And at this point, I have every trophy in the game. So you know what? I don't care. So I have some gripes with the game. Like I said, had a wonderful time for the first like 2/3, but like the fact that I accidentally beat the game, didn't even know that, and then wasn't planning for that, and then accidentally I thought that another boss was going to spawn over at the ruins, and then instead it's just final cutscene. Game's over. You win. End of game. I was like, what? It's just we're done. huh? I was expecting more. And I'm not trying to say that it needs to have like another 80 hours of content, but it would be cool if it was more than like 3. Um, because again, the Ever Fallen Dragon's Dogma 1 was incredible and all this really cool content and several new bosses and a bunch of enemies and a whole bunch of cool stuff, and then nope. So hopefully they come up with a really cool DLC that adds a bunch of cool new shit. But until then, I really don't see a reason to go back to this game. But it's a little sad to say that, considering how much I loved the first one. Because, like I said, I beat the first one, 4 different characters from New Game, not New Game Plus, from New Game, brand new character, played a different class, played through it 4 times. This game, I've played through it twice. I have all the trophies. I really don't have a like. I don't have a want to play through it again because of how annoying some of the crap is and how just weak the ending is. So take with that what you will. I give it a 7 out of 10, kind of a 6-ish out of 10. I'm hoping they add more content, but I don't know. The Sphinx was annoying, but at the same time, it's supposed to be. I don't know. Was fun. I'll be honest. That's the other thing. I've beaten the game twice now. I really don't have a want to go back and play. I have platinumed Rise of the Ronin, but because I beat the new game cycle and unlocked a new difficulty and a new rarity for equipment, and have the world to explore with tougher enemies. So it's different enemies in different placements and different, you know what I mean? There's all this cool like bonus content after the fact. And Dragon's Dogma is like, cool, you beat the game, do it again. And to my knowledge, nothing changes. I think, and this is a guess, some of the enemies get more health. Ooh, are they more aggressive? Are there more enemies? Do they spawn faster? Are there different types of enemies? No. I think Drakes now have like 6 or 7 health bars instead of, I think, 5 is what they used to have. And then in New Game Plus it was 6, and now I think it's 7. So like I don't think there's really much of a reason to play through the game more than once, unless there's certain quests you want to do differently or certain quests you want to do in a different way, or you know what I mean? Unless it's, or if you're like me and you were hunting trophies. It's just again, I wanted this game to be better, which is mostly a problem on my part because it's a case of the way I view the game. And so, like, I was just expecting more from the game, and I'm just let down. And, but, like, as a fan of the first one, that's what I'm comparing it to. I know I just compared it to Rise of the Ronin, but that's just an example of, like, how I think they could have potentially done Endgame cooler would have been like to give us newer, different enemies, not the Gore Minotaur, the Gore Cyclops, the Gore Ogre, and the Gore Chimera are all just standard versions with more health and probably one new attack. Um, Meanwhile, Rise of the Ronin has like enemies with crazy movesets and shit, and it's just again, there's more to it. And these games both came out on the exact same day, so it's like, what the fuck? I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I enjoyed the game, but I really don't see myself playing it again until DLC comes out. Other than that, see you. I've been recording way too long.